Hello friends, this is Kailash Chandra, Volume 2, Transcription number 42, at the speed of 90 words per minute. 3, 2, 1, start. Sir, the resolution itself is very badly drafted, but it draws attention to one of the most pressing problems of this country. Full employment is an objective of every kind of economy in this world, whether capitalist, socialist, communist, or mixed economy. Therefore, it is also one of our objectives. But then we are not able to find out whether we are proceeding on the road of greater employment or greater unemployment. I am afraid that thinking on this matter is today so confused and contradictory that unless we can have a rational comprehension of the whole problem, we are not likely to make any headway. Therefore, I want to define how we should approach this problem. First of all, this is not a single problem but two different and distinct problems. We should not confuse total unemployment with partial employment or underemployment. These are two different things that have to be dealt with in entirely different fashions. But unfortunately, when we speak of 15 or 19 million unemployed, nobody knows how many of these are really totally unemployed and how many are suffering from seasonal or partial unemployment. Total unemployment is an urban phenomenon. It is only in cities and towns. You have people who have to work whatsoever. In the rural areas, it is always a case of partial unemployment or seasonal unemployment. Therefore, the first thing to be done in order to solve this is we must find out, we must devise a machinery to ascertain how many are totally unemployed and how many are underemployed. So, I do suggest that every municipality in this country should maintain a register of the unemployed. Of course, we have now the labor exchanges. Unfortunately, they are not to be found everywhere, and all unemployed do not register themselves there. Therefore, I suggested that in every municipality there should be an unemployment register and propaganda should be done among the unemployed that they should first register themselves in the municipal register. Similarly, I would suggest that in every village panchayat there should be a register where people will register themselves for underemployment because during the harvest season there is actually shortage of labor in the villages rather than the rivers. Therefore, there would have to be different kind of registers to show in what seasons you want to give employment and to devise suitable employment. Then, secondly, we have to realize that so far as total unemployment is concerned, the only way is to develop industries and social services. The word employment is also used very loosely. In the Ambar Charkha, if a man gets 40 or 60 paise, it is called employment. That will not do. We must define employment as giving him work which will give him living wages. Any work which does not give living wages should not be called employment. If we have to give living wages, the only way of doing it for the totally unemployed is to develop our industries and expand our social services. So far as social services are concerned, there is enormous scope for expansion. Why should you not in this country have one teacher for every 20 children? Why should we have one teacher for 40 children? Immediately, we can increase the strength of teachers by lakhs, but the real difficulty is we have to pay them, and therefore, we are now caught in a dilemma. Without increase of wealth, we cannot increase the social services. Without increasing the social services, we cannot give sufficient and adequate employment for the totally unemployed in the towns. Therefore, the development of industries is essential. Without the development of industries and social services, the problem of total unemployment cannot be solved. Therefore, it is no use blaming the Planning Commission or anybody. Of course, some kind of temporary employment can be devised by such way as asking the man to go and dig the high level and make it low level and give them some temporary wages, but that will be only waste of scarce resources, and we shall not be solving the problem of unemployment. Therefore, a faster development of industry and out of the surplus proceeds of industry, a quicker development of the social services is the only possible solution for total unemployment. For partial employment or underemployment in the villages, it has to be solved in a different way. Intensification of agriculture is bound to increase employment. For instance, wherever there is single crop, if we can introduce double crop, the total amount of labor required will be doubled. Therefore, conversion of single crop lands into double crop lands and providing irrigation and other facilities for them is one of the certain methods of solving this underemployment. Again, many traditional services such as the annual repair of irrigation tanks, canals, etc., have lapsed. We must resume them. I am sure they will give at least an average of 20 underemployed workers in the villages, further worsening the unemployment problem in the country. Full stop. अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो प्लीज़ लाइक करें, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें, और अगर आपको कुछ सजेशन है रिगार्डिंग द डिक्टेशंस, आप इसमें कमेंट भी कर सकते हैं ताकि मैं डिक्टेशंस को और आपके हिसाब से और बेहतर कर पाऊँ। थैंक यू।